Today is Super Tuesday, and we'll catch you up on who's leading for the Democrats and Republicans.
And student government elections are also right around the corner, and we'll fill you in on what both tickets are offering to voters.
And later, find out how Apple got a big win in the courtroom yesterday.
Don't go anywhere. Newsbeat starts right now.
Welcome to Newsbeat. I'm Matt Houston.
And I'm Madeline Adams. Voting for student government will be held on Monday and will begin tonight with everything you need to know to make your decision.
Kendra and Lewis are the student government vice president and president candidates on the Restart ticket. Tiger TV reporter Serena Crawford sits down with the two candidates to hear about their plans for LSU.
Kendra Davis and Louis Gramillion Jr. are the faces of LSU's Restart campaign, a campaign that represents diversity and equality.
I've been in student government since freshman year. I've also been in other organizations, and I've seen both sides of the fence. So student government has to do their part as well. They have to reach out to students, go to organizations. You can't just post the Facebook post about saying like you want funds to be more accessible to all organizations. You have to actually go the extra mile and reach out to them as well. So it's not just the students. Student government needs to step up too.
Kendra's running mate Lewis expresses the same concerns about previous student government officials.
Every year they go to communities on campus and they say, how can we fix your problem? Problems that they did not create. And so they come, they get an initiative on the ticket, they get the students to vote, and that's the last we hear from them. That's not enough. There's so much money that runs through student government. There's so much potential to impact the student's life, like I said, regardless of where you come from, that we need to be taking full advantage of the resources that student government has.
They both share a passion to make LSU a stronger campus.
Student government always tries to make these like big, grand changes, but it's the little things that count. People just want to be heard. They want to be listened to. They want to feel like they're cared about. And so that's something that we definitely want to implement as well.
Kendra and Lewis see themselves as the future of what LSU can be.
Females make up 52% of this campus. We are the majority, but we aren't represented as such. We haven't had a student body president that's a female since 2005, and so that's something that I definitely think we need to be represented accurately. We also haven't had a minority student body president in almost 30 years, and that's absolutely insane.
So much that student government can be doing, promoting organizations' events, helping organizations get funding, helping create dialogue for campus climate and diversity issues, making the campus more inclusive for minority groups and LGBTQ community. There's so many things that we can be doing. Taking a bigger stand against the budget cuts that our students are facing. There's so much that we can do as student government that they're just really not doing enough of. So that's why we're calling for a restart.
Serena Crawford reporting for Tiger TV.
You can vote next Monday on March the 7th. There will be a link on Moodle that will lead you to a site to cast your vote. Kendra and Lewis have a few messages that will be announced later this week from a couple of LSU athletes.
The second ticket running for student government includes Zach Faircloth and Lindsay Landry, who have been involved with student government since their freshman year. They say that they believe student government has done so many great things for the university already, and their campaign is aiming to advance the LSU community forward. Tiger TV's Michaela Morgan spoke with them both firsthand. Take a look.
LSU juniors Zach Faircloth and Lindsay Landry are aiming to move the LSU community forward as student government presidential and vice presidential candidates.
Zach and I have both been involved in student government since our freshman year at LSU, and we've seen many great things go through student government that have benefited the students and have improved our campus, but we want to go one step further and move student government and LSU forward.
One of the campaign's proposed initiatives is to provide students with a map of contraflow on game days, with text notifications alerting students of when and where the traffic begins.
It'll help out with transportation and safety issues after football games.
The campaign is also hoping to make an impact in the state legislature.
So what we're going to do is send a student government member down to the state legislature every single day that they're in session. That's going to be for the rest of the session this year and for next year's session.
The campaign is also proposing many other initiatives such as more accessible vending machines, improving Alex Box Stadium, free summertime fitness at the UREC, and more.
And the culmination of that, in addition to Lindsay and I's experience, is going to make for a really, really great and engaging student government that I think can really do a good job of reaching out to the community as a whole.
For Tiger TV, I'm Michaela Morgan.
To read more of the Forward campaign's initiatives and meet other candidates on the ticket, visit www.forward-2016.com or check out their Facebook page.
A federal judge in New York announced yesterday that the Justice Department cannot force Apple to unlock an iPhone that is part of a drug investigation. CBS's Jeff Peags has more.
In its filing, Apple says the FBI is seeking a dangerous power and that it would be forced to dedicate 6 to 10 Apple engineers to create new code that Apple calls the Government Operating System, or Government OS. Apple says there would even have to be a government's forensics lab on company grounds that could be used to open hundreds of other seized devices in law enforcement's possession. Apple says if it creates the software to break into the iPhone, criminals, terrorists, and hackers will no doubt view the code as a major prize. The company believes the case triggers First Amendment protections, and writing computer code is equivalent to free speech.
This is the hardest question I've seen in government.
FBI Director James Comey reassured members of Congress today that the Bureau only wanted access to the iPhone used by San Bernardino terrorist Syed Farook. Comey said the FBI is standing on firm legal ground, but Congress needs to set the limits on how far government investigators can go.
I'm a huge fan of privacy. I love encryption. Right? It's a great thing, but our need for public safety and our need for privacy are crashing into each other, and we got to sort that out as a people.
Apple is hoping they'll get the same verdict in California in a case that is trying to force Apple to create a software that would bypass a security feature in the San Bernardino shooter's phone. Coming up after the break, today is Super Tuesday, and we'll update you on how the remaining candidates are doing in the polls.
Don't go anywhere. Newsbeat will be right back. Welcome back to Newsbeat. Today is Super Tuesday, and voters in Alabama, Alaska, and Arkansas, and 9 other states will be headed to the polls. On the Democrat side, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is coming off of her win in South Carolina's primary. Clinton is currently leading Senator Bernie Sanders with 548 delegates to 87. Clinton is predicted to win many of the southern states voting today, including Arkansas, where she was the former First Lady while her husband served as governor. Sanders is predicted to win his home state of Vermont. While Sanders is out persuading voters to go to the polls, Clinton is already looking ahead to her possible Republican rival.
Please come out to vote. Please bring your friends, your family, your neighbors.
The Republicans, I got to give them credit. They are persistent, persistently wrong.
At some point, you can't just say whatever pops into your head if you want to be the President of the United States of America.
On the Republican side, historically, whichever candidate comes out victorious on Super Tuesday ends up taking the Republican nomination. Heading into Super Tuesday, Donald Trump still has the lead, followed by Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio for a close second. John Kasich is in third, and Ben Carson is currently in fourth. The candidates are continuing how they left off at the last GOP debate and are still taking shots at one another. Most of the candidates are looking to take down the current leader, Trump, while he's not afraid to fight right back.
Rubio, I deal with Cruz. These guys don't know anything. They have no clue what's going on.
It is an embarrassment. But Donald Trump will be an embarrassment to America, will be an embarrassment to anyone who supported him.
You're among those 65% of Republicans who recognize that Donald Trump could be a disaster as the nominee. Then I ask you to join us, even if you're thinking of another candidate.
And you will not beat Donald Trump by insulting him, because all you do is enrage his supporters and make them even more firmly committed because of personal insulting attacks. That is not how you win.
And we'll be right back with more Newsbeat after this.
Welcome back to Newsbeat. Fox Sports sideline reporter Aaron Andrews is currently in a lawsuit against the Nashville Marriott and Vanderbilt University.
8 years ago, when Andrews worked for ESPN, Michael David Barrett filmed her changing in her hotel room and posted the video online. The video went viral, and Barrett went to jail for 27 months.
Her goal now is to sue the Marriott Hotel that put Barrett in the hotel room next to her. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.